What is up, guys? Have a fun deck for you today. Today's deck is a Beast Swarm deck. So, it's just the general idea is we're playing a lot of Beast cards. We're going to swarm out and then play your normal swarm rewards. Triss Telekinesis, Yennefer of Vengerberg, Bone Talismans. You get the idea. Chimeras. Based off of Specimen Gwent's video and kind of what he was streaming a long time ago. Right, we're doing Urn of Shadows to kind of help us with blue coin. So Urn of Shadows, Abaya, and then these Harpy eggs get us a lot of extra 6 points out there. Really handy. Can usually get you through an easy time with blue coin, which is always nice. Then you're probably going to want to bleed with this deck, but it is an all-in deck that when you go with this combo, that's kind of what you have. So if your opponent does manage to pull through, your short round might be kind of bad. But yeah, there's kind of the deck, and let's hop to the games. And our Witchers making a comeback. Okay, Squirrel could come in handy here. We actually do have a Harpy egg. You know, it's very rare that that actually happens. We have a good setup here. Want to go ahead and use the Night Wraith. Probably kick a Chimera. Okay, I think we roll with this. It's also nice in Squirrel in this deck. It's the Beast category, so it can gain extra value. You gotta love that. Just having to check audio stuff. I'm having some really bad issues with that lately. Unfortunately, kind of cut it one of the previous videos. Though we do have a very good blue coin setup. You always just like being on red coin. It's so much more chill. Their Griffin Witcher will hurt here. If we tried to push it all the way down, but I think we'll kind of just play a couple cards and get out. It'd hurt more if we were Rack of Swarm. I like how he did think that much about it. Like, what else are you gonna play? I guess maybe he's trying to respect the Pred dive. No, he's not. He wouldn't have done that. Wish I could punish, but I can't. So fire away at it. We'll go Harpy Egg, we'll go Necrophage, and Juggle Warrior. Night Wraith, Spontaneous, Squirrel at any point given in there. I think that's our game plan. Isn't it crazy, though, that when Scythemen get that much of a nerf, that this deck can still be insanely strong? It's, I guess the way you could view balancing is you can either, like, really hit stuff hard to, like, mix up the meta and hopefully bring new things into light, or you just kind of try and tweak a little bit. Tweaking's probably better in some ways to try and, like, just not completely erase a deck. But when you do sometimes some of those hard nerfs, you do mix it up quite a bit, and that's always a nice thing to see. And it's not to say that the meta's been, it was stale for a long time, but some of those new leaders really helped mix things up. And, you know, Vi and Lockdown got taken out, so that was nice. Clog too. But some of those decks have kind of just still stuck. I mean, and you look at something like SK Warriors, which is not ever going to die anytime soon. And I guess that's fine. Not played as much since the newest patch. 8.3, not 8.4, because 8.4 probably drops shortly after this video comes out. But it's still an incredibly viable deck. Just like that, back in it. We're going to hit the Amphibious Assault next. After that, we'll kind of have to start really paying attention to our points on the side and making sure that we're keeping up. Yurden will be massive here, but he's almost certainly got a Yurden, and that's stupid scary for us. Really well against us. Gotta try your best, I guess, to play around it, but it's gonna, whatever row the Plague Maiden is on, his Yurden is just gonna decimate, and that's where so many of our points come from.
They stick spin around and smash you.
Okay, bye-bye to your AA. Yeah, I was like, don't pass. We're down 7 points. 8 to win. So, there we go. Play this next.
Retrieve the bolt, I know, I'm on it.
Go Night Wraith, maybe. We could maybe use 1 leader charge if we had to. I'd be fine with that. Okay, let's think here. So we have 5,
no honor is
13.
no brother of mine.
So if we use a leader charge, we'd be fine. If he passes here. Leader charge and spontaneous. We're good to go. Otherwise, we're just passing here. Because if we play that spontaneous evolution and he passes, I don't want to play anything else. And we got to try and swarm super early. Like, we have to get an early Yennefer because he can fill up with the Keldar. Something we'll have to keep in mind.
Tomfoolery, enough.
Okay, he's got all his carryover. And I think we are out of here. Now, we know what's going to happen, right? He's going to bleed. That is fine by us. Look at these draws. Okay. Overswarm isn't a massive concern here. There we go. I think we'll keep that so we can get full haunt procs. Though, no Yurden. Really gonna hurt. So we could try and hit that. I think we gotta go for it. Well, we traded down really poorly. Those sirens always just get in there. I swear, every time I have to go for the risky mulligan to try and get something better, it's just sirens like, well, hello there. Okay.
Knights get
That's gonna
princesses and we
suck.
get what? Bloody streagers.
Do we just jam haunt here? We just jam haunt. Hey, we get a pass out of him. Boom. Yes. That is 100% fine by me. And this will be enough.
You wouldn't want to hurt us, would you?
Knickers pops out. I've seen enough of the Dandelion show to be very wary of that. That is actually totally fine, and we don't have to deal with that taking away our little units. Just please, Nearmancy or Yurden. Yes! What do we got here? Yeah, I think that would work. 2 Chimeras is super nice. If they live, we get row punished. Oh shoot, we're missing bone talismans. Okay, yeah, we gotta take a mulligan. I'm telling you, what did I tell you? Oh, we definitely traded down again. We really need bone talismans. Okay. So we go Plague Maiden like Yennefer. I think we're good to go. Yeah, that works. We'll put her melee since we have to put a bunch of stuff ranged. Go Yennefer next, and then we'll kind of just play cards to what we feel like. Obviously, we got to pay attention to the adrenaline here. And in that patch coming out tomorrow, they're doing like a VFX effect for adrenaline. It said it's like highlighted when the adrenaline effect is like, you know, ready or activated. So last say is going to be Yurden for us. Fortunately though, with his last say he can save leader. And it might not be enough. I don't think we're pulling through with this. Unfortunately, if I just want to make a prediction, their Yurden is just too devastating for us. Fortune teller.
Pain, don't fret. I know where your corpse will be found.
That's not creepy.
You crossed the wrong sorceress.
Okay, I'm getting max value out of that. Oh, I shouldn't say max value, but probably the most efficient value by making sure he doesn't have units on his side. Kind of cool premium, even though it got downgraded a bit. It's actually my most premium heavy deck. That's one of the coolest ones. This one's actually really cool too. He starts doing all the signs. So yeah, if I could have one thing here is that Siren would be a Bone Talisman. That'd be a big game changer. But hey, Siren's honestly, it's at least 3 points. Whereas Bone Talisman can get really negated. And maybe he's doing an Igni version. I so thoroughly doubt it, but maybe. Of course, he kills that 12 unit. Igni's actually really stupid scary here. It's interesting that it's taken him a long time to play. I have a very stacked hand. Okay, so we go just Morvid now. I'm gonna do like Siren and Spontaneous back here. Again, to try and play as much as we possibly can around Yurden. So we'll go Siren, boost onto Morvid, and then we'll go Spontaneous onto the Siren. We'll play some of these Chimeras. Finish with a Triss Telekinesis and a Yurden. I think that's just pretty much how we play. It's interesting when you get decks like this where there's no way you can interact and you just kind of, for the most part, follow a sequence. A little bit brain dead, but it can be a little relaxing. Especially after a long day of Gwent where you've just been shoved into the ground. Today was such a day. Stares off sadly into the sky. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with our opponent here. Alright, you can get boosted.
To me.
I really want to know what his hand is because he's having a hard time picking out cards. It must just be a sequencing issue. Yeah, I mean, he's playing Scytheman now.
This harvest
Which, I mean,
will be reaping
it's only a 4P
black
card, so
clouds.
in the end. Alright, we'll go here. Then you got me playing 5 seconds. Like, if you use, like, some super engine heavy deck, it makes sense. Okay, there's Keldar. A little scary. He is favoring this front row, so that plays into our Yurden, which is really nice.
With garlic, see what that gets you.
You gotta dodge.
Go Chimera. Ah, I love that. Looks so cool. Can we get premium tokens for some of these? Make it look really nice and clean. As a poor Gwent player, this is like my one big premium deck. It just kind of happened that way. I kind of looked when I was getting all this stuff. I was like, wow, I actually have a lot of these beast cards as premiums. Just from some kegs, and I think I'd purposely craft a couple, you know. Triss Telekinesis, Yennefer. I'd gotten this Yurden one from... What is it? Okay, Leo. This Yurden one from a keg. It was actually really cool.
Carrying arrows mid-fight. I really ought to try that.
Yes! This is actually really good. I'm not as concerned.
Spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
So we go here. As you can see, this deck does not have an issue shelling out points. Like, if you're not going to be playing interactive with your opponent, you have to have a ridiculous amount of points. So when you're building monsters that way and you're not going to have, like, locks or heat waves or any sort of removal,
has yet to speak its last.
you need to have lots and lots of points. Okay, Triss Telekinesis. Please give me a Bone Talisman.
I will not let this become a second
Yes.
garden.
Go that next. Okay, our Yurden here is going to be devastating. That might just win it for us. If he had spread some of his points out, I think we would have been fine. Or he would have been fine and definitely won. But now that he's put it up there, I'm actually feeling fairly confident. Of course, again, he'll probably have a Yurden. That'll be stupid scary.
What can I do for you?
Alright, so... Can I get that down?
Damn it.
Okay, I think even his Yurden's not enough. We actually... Yes! There we go. That feels nice. Okay, so this was from when I was having audio issues. So I just cut the entire audio because it was coming through like robot voice. You couldn't hear me. And I just wanted to show you this deck getting pulverized, an instance of the deck you are so very afraid of. So we're just going straight to the final round here, and just so you can witness the pain that I'm about to get. So the deck is a Movement Scoia'tael one. But it turned out to not be the typical Movement Scoia'tael, as I quickly find out. Fortunately, though, I have a pretty stacked hand, so I was feeling somewhat decent. And we'll see how that quickly turned out. Alright, so I went ahead and went for Haunt to then I'm going to Neuromancy and pull out Plague Maiden. That way to keep as much row space free as possible and not have to use a leader charge on the Plague Maiden. He goes Saber-Tooth Tiger. I'm not super scared about that. Maybe making a bomb and row filling can be a little scary for that. But, and also his leader. But I'm thinking, okay, he's Movement Scoia'tael. Our Yurden is absolutely going to decimate him. We managed to keep some of my Swarm package alive. We might be in a good spot. I was also thinking he probably might be running a Yurden too. They were doing that for quite a bit in this movement. Alright, so boom, we got the combo set up. We got some extra row space back there from what we normally would have, because we typically have to use a leader charge with Plague Maiden. Well, not typically, but fair enough. And yep, there we go. So Ragnarok, basically. Chuckles, I'm in danger. So, yeah, we got a row punish stuff. It's really, the only thing more devastating than some of that, like, in the moment, is Hemdall. Plague Maiden, an activated Plague Maiden on a row that only has the rats, Hemdall just completely negates that entire thing. Back when he was being played and like all the SK Warriors were using them, not so much anymore. Ice kind of fills one of those slots. Holy cow. But I dropped the Yennefer. We're going to try and keep our Swarm alive as much as possible. She's going to be a good choice for it, and he gains no value off of that because he just had an artifact. So yeah, our kind of whole goal here is how do we keep things alive? Yeah, it's like I think I should go with Spontaneous there instead of Morwood. Forget what I did. Okay, so I did go with Spontaneous. Points-wise, not in a bad spot per se. He had a Mantlet earlier in the match, and that's why I was certain he's just gonna be playing a whole lot of movement engines, which he still plays a fair amount, but I was just really expecting a normal kind of squid tail movement with, I guess, Mantlet teched in. Moves the rat off. So that kind of hurts us because it makes our Chimera worse and gives our other lower units more time to die, which really sucks. I think what I go... Okay, so I go with the Morwood. I think I might consider putting it back row to try and pull some damage into him and keep some of the rats alive. But we are definitely fighting a losing battle. Still got to go for it, though. Take out Yennefer, just get her buffed up. Again, just trying to keep units on the board for our Triss and our Bone Talismans, because we potentially have 3 of them. That's the second time he played a Saboteur. Like, I had taken an early pass, I believe, and he kept playing down to 4 cards to get some hand buffs going on. And I was just confused on exactly what that was going to bring. We do get the Bone Talisman. As you can see, he had no special cards. I was curious. I was like, Vernacio is typically one of the ones you want to hit with that. Maybe Eldain. In the trap decks. I don't know. And now you're seeing, we get Dragon's Dream. So we got Cataclysm on Rose. We got Dragon's Dream. And Yurden goes from a card that could potentially win us the game to a card that is falling flat. And I wonder what that card could be. It's almost like another Row Punish. I mean, again, in points, we're really fine here, but he's got some pain coming. Moving all our units back there. Yurden. Dragon's Dream. And a Crushing Trap. Wow, look at that. I mean, that's kind of insane. That is such a hard counter to our deck. But I guess our opponent's pretty happy with that because, it probably very rarely happens for him. Sometimes those Row Punish ones can be very hit or miss. And Turvia was the elf he'd been boosting, which I think he should have just taken all my rats out, but I think he wanted the satisfaction. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that pain. Again, sorry about the audio issues. Hopefully they'll be fixed soon.